Yes, good morning. Oh, I'm sorry. Good afternoon, good afternoon. This is Spirit Journey, and it's just a little bit past 4:30. I hope you're all doing well. I'm home right now, and outside it is raining. It's very gray outside, and I just took a lazy day out and just relaxed, watched some videos, and just having a good time. And I have my little girl Lily with me. See that? Yeah. Well, let's see, I had just come across a really, really wonderful channel. And as you see next to me, let me put on the screen here. Right beside me on the right hand side here, it's a channel. It's the first time. Oops, I'm turning on. It's the first time I ever saw this channel, and it's called Wild Things. It's a television show, and this is the host. I mean the human, the girl. And that's the host to the right. And with this episode, she features different animals, as you see here. Let me see if I can make the screen bigger. Okay. Okay, it's not getting the whole screen. Let me make it shrink. Okay. So yes, it's called Wild Things, and the host, her name is Liz Bonnin, and it's the first time I ever saw this person, this host. She's a biologist, and based on the way she talks, I think she's from Britain. And she, in this episode, discusses the relationships, the unlikely relationships of wild animals and pets. And as you can see there, you see a a lion and a little dog. Okay. Okay, I'll keep it on the smaller screen so you can see everything. Yeah, that is the host. And she's discussing the different relationships that animals could have. And she'll go and visit different areas all across the world about the different relationships that these animals have. Like they could be an owner of a property, and in this case it's a little dog, and they're on a reservation of some type, animal reservation, and you can see here the dog and the large cat, and they seem to all get along. And the number of hits that this video has, it has over 6 million hits, as you can see on the side of the screen there. And it has a tremendous number of likes. And I like the video also. It really touched my heart. They showed like, what's that, like a bear, and what was that? No, it was like a lion and a deer, a dog and a little fawn, and it was just so beautiful. And it's like, wow, I say to myself, I said, wow, here these animals, different species, and they get along. You have relationships. They even showed like a cat, and the cat adopted these little chicks. It was just so adorable. And so it had me thinking, that here you have all these, they're showing candid pictures of unlikely relationships. But then I asked myself, how come humans can't seem to get along with each other. Here we're the same species and we have this invented thing called race. And people are fighting because of differences in religion, differences in languages, differences in culture, what type of food you eat. Look at this. A lion and a bear. And it's real. It's so beautiful. And they're genuinely affectionate. So it's really something how things go. You know, we may think that race is so real. And even me start to believe in the hype of what they call race and all the isms behind it. And all how even within the same so-called race that there could be conflict, could be petty jealousies. But when I look at the young lady, Liz Bonnin, I think of a little bit about myself. Again, this is the first time I'm seeing this person, and when I see her, I see a little bit of myself. She looks like someone of mixed heritage, and it came to it when I saw her and what the episode was about. I said to myself, isn't that interesting that here they have a show, a bunch of different types of species of animals together, and then you have a girl who could be from Britain, and she's hosting the show, and she looks like a woman of mixed ancestry, and she looks in particular a woman of black and what we call black and white heritage, or African and European heritage, and it's blended in. And so when you look at her, you may wonder about her background and how I thought the topic of the show about unlikely relationships, and here in history that there were laws against what they call interracial unions. And here this woman could possibly be of that type of union that's reflective of the past, what was considered illegal in the past. But here they have her hosted. And so that's immediately what I thought. Seeing the hostess, seeing the show, and seeing how television and these programs are communicating ideas. What ideas do they want to portray here? What do they want to convey? What do they want you to possibly accept? They're showing these relationships and that it's not impossible. And years ago, there used to be fighting and riots between groups, even within the same so-called race. It could be because of religion. And you have people killing themselves, killing each other. But here, when I watch this show, at least I feel, my watching the show, that it's conveying to me about a desire for the producers of this show to change or introduce a new paradigm system, a new system of attitudes towards one another. And again, this show, as I see here, it was published in December 2016. And so here now it's 2019. And this is the first time I'm ever seeing this program. So I give it a thumbs up for its, at least how I internalize it, its attempt to show humans that here, just because someone is different, it doesn't mean that you have to war with one another, and that some of these relationships were facilitated. Like this one particular scene, they showed it was a lion and a bear, and this lion and bear were taken away from someone who illegally purchased them and were raising them in their basement, if I understood right. And I guess the authorities found out about it, and they brought them to this facility. And they were just babies at the time, the lion or the tiger and the bear. And they did initially try to separate the two, but they found that it was distress happening between the two animals because early in their development, they were together in the basement, and I'm sorry, let me get this commercial out. Sorry about that. Yeah, it was this one here. Yeah, these guys were raised together. They were raised together, and so they overlooked the differences. They were both in the same boat, so to speak. Okay, I'll put you down. Okay, my little doggie wants to. Yeah, she wants to go bye-bye now. Okay. Okay. So I guess. Yeah, yeah, I'm sorry the focus is a little grainy here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Wow, it looks awful. Sometimes when I move, the vision gets, let me see if I can make it a little, okay. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I can't stand when it's, look, oops. Awful. Yeah, these cameras, so it has to do a refocus. That is so awful what it's doing. Yeah, it has to do a refocus. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Oh, it's so tacky. Yeah, this is what happens. Yeah, I gotta find a how. Let me try it again. I'm sorry about that. Here, yeah. So here, these animals are getting along with each other. Boy, maybe I should make this. I'm sorry about this. Boy, it's taking a long time to adjust this up. I'm sorry about that. Here's if I could fix this. Okay. Maybe I need to just sit closer. Yeah, it's a bad, let me turn on the light. Okay, maybe that's all it needed. It needed more light. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, so here you have a relationship. The lion and the bear were raised together in a dungeon. Think of it like a prison. And early in life, they learned to rely on each other, and even when they became adults, they remained friendship. And I thought that was beautiful. That really touched me. And so this is reminding me that sometimes in human relationships, let's say you're in a relationship with someone who historically you don't get along, but maybe there was a natural disaster, let's say a flood, and you guys meet up and you form a bond for survival. But perhaps if things were so-called perfect, that you'd be enemies. So it's showing you that how we think about each other is really based about our environment. The environment could be good or bad, but it's the relationship to one another under those environments. So sometimes those environments could teach us to come together, or sometimes the environment could have us repel each other. So I I really like this show. What I see of it, it seems very it's wishful, and it really puts a smile on my face, and it's encouraging me to think that there's still hope out there for humanity. And as for the girl, I'm also excited about this biologist, Liz Bonnin. My growing up, I didn't see that many girls, I should say women, on television that looked something like me. And again, she looks like someone of a biracial union, like myself, historically, I mean, for myself. But it's rewarding. But you know what happens sometimes when someone from a biracial union, what could happen? That whoever, let's say, whoever who the mother was, you learn your identity and how to be, like, let's say in this case, a woman. You learn how to be a woman by your mother. And if it's a boy, you learn how to be a boy from your father or some other male figure in your life. And so what could happen, even though, let's say my situation, that here I'm a black woman, but of biracial heritage. And what could happen is you could be socialized by, let's say, a white mother, and you might be comfortable in a white environment. But when you're dealing with in the black, what I call it, the black community, that maybe you might be a little rusty in dealing with people from the other group of what you belong to. And what could happen is strife. So it's more than just genetics, it's what you raised into, just like with these animals. Now you had this one instance, little ducks, and the ducks were being breastfed by a little cat, a mama cat. But what could happen is that those ducks don't know how to relate to their own. You know, it's something called marking. And the first instance of the mother-like figure is what those ducks are going to follow and think that's the identity. So it could be a little tricky for the ducks and as well for certain people, according to what social environment they live in, whether they're of mixed race or they're just one race, but maybe they live in a different society. So my looking at this woman, Liz Bonnin, and seeing what she looks like, and I start to ask myself, what was her life living in possibly Britain, of someone with the way she looks? How is she in her relationships with the different races in Britain, if that's where she's currently living? And I just have to reflect about myself. So for me, it was a challenge because I'm raised in one type of society, and then I kind of look kind of in between, yet my skin is dark. My skin is dark, but it wasn't as dark as some of my members of my community. And so it resulted at times in an identity problem and not really fitting in. So that's why this show, I resonated with it, because I felt that it dealt with different things that could happen to us, to people of mixed heritage, or people who just live in environments that are living amongst groups that are different from themselves, and how we could learn to cope and live within these new communities well, or if there's conflict. So I'm happy about watching this show and seeing that there are people who are sensitive to the unions of animals, but again, what we show with these animals, it's really representing who we are. It's about humans, and it's about humans relating with other human beings who are perceived to be different. So I thank you for watching, and I think I'm going to continue watching, maybe subscribe to this channel called Wild Things, and to see beautiful animals like these. Look at this one, a dog, no, a wolf and and a polar bear. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? So yes, if animals could get along of different species, shouldn't we as humans be a little better? Yeah, so that's my message for the day. So I thank you for watching, and I apologize for the video mishaps here. But you enjoy the rest of your day, and if you like my channel and the content, please feel free to subscribe. You could comment below, and you could give your experiences about what you feel about different people, different groups of people mingling, socializing, and even about this show called Wild Things. So take care. And oh, one more thing. If you like the content of this video and my channel, please feel free to donate. You can go to my channel, Spirit Journey, and then at the top right portion of the banner, you can press on the PayPal Me link, and you just follow the prompts. I thank you in advance for any gift you can give me. Thank you again, and enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, guys and gals. Bye-bye.